Hey everybody, what's up? My name's Mackenzie.
And I'm Jonathan.
We are husband and wife, and we'd like to welcome you to TerreDice.
And today is our second installment of the Minute Monthly.
Yes, so that means that now that we have done it twice, it is a thing. So basically what this is that we get to play a lot of games, and sometimes we just don't have the time to be able to cover all of them exclusively in their own video. So each month we're going to compile all the games that we've played for the first time and talk about them for roughly a minute. So last month we did a November and October combined, and now it is January 2025. So we are going to do things we played in December. All right. So if that sounds like something you want to learn about, then just keep watching.
Okay, so I've got my handy dandy BG Stats in front of me, which is an app that tracks all of our plays. Every time we play a game, I plug it into this little app, and that's how I can track like everything we played for the first time in December. So first up on December 1st, we have Habitats. So this is a game by All Play where you are placing these tiles by drafting them by driving your little Jeep around a little safari, and you're gonna score points based on grouped tiles, separated tiles, tiles within certain habitats. And it's just one of those cute little like tile placement games. We did have the like deluxe version, so we had these like nice little like meeples that represent all the animals that we have that we're scoring on our tiles, because they each have like different requirements for them. Honestly, it was pretty fun. I'm interested in playing it again. I wouldn't say it was like my favorite tile placement game, but it was really cute and has really nice art.
It was really cute, and we have those deluxe upgraded meeples. The only thing I'd say about those, it can be kind of hard to find which one you're going to have to place.
Sifting through them.
Because there's just a lot in it. But kudos to them for having individual meeples for each card. It just took a minute to try and find them. So if you're really into niche animals and having very custom pieces, you should check out those deluxe pieces. But next up, we have the Fellowship of the Ring, the trick-taking game. So Jonathan, this was the talk of the town at PAX Unplugged this year, and you got a chance to sit down and play it. So what'd you think?
Yeah. So this is basically it's a crew-like cooperative trick-taking game where you are trying to play cards to win tricks, and everybody has a certain requirement of what they're trying to do. So someone might want to win more tricks, someone might want to win no tricks, someone might get to give certain cards to certain other players, but it's all tied into the theme of the Lord of the Rings universe, and not like the film Lord of the Rings. Like this has a bunch of like book characters and really obscure characters. So we have like a bunch of chapters that you go through. We played through the first 4 chapters or so. Honestly, it had a very similar feel to like The Crew, I would say. Definitely interested in playing it more. We should be getting a copy of it here in the next couple of weeks, and we'll get to get more plays out of it. This is in the twilight hours of PAX Unplugged, so I want to give it a second opinion before I get a chance to talk about it.
Up next is Great Western Trail El Paso. So while we were at PAX Unplugged, which is a huge board game convention up in Philly, we got to go to an Asmodee preview event where they were showing off new games coming out, and we got to check out the new El Paso to Great Western Trail. So it's a little like, I call it's like mini Great Western Trail, like short Great Western Trail. And as this guy over here, Great Western Trail is one or the best, his favorite game of all time. So what did you think of it?
Yeah, honestly, I really had no idea what to think about it. I generally, I already love it as a game. I will spend 3 hours playing it, so it didn't matter to me to have a shorter version, but honestly thought it was really, really good. We played a full game of it. It is literally the game, box size cut in half, playtime cut in half, and then it's got this interesting kind of cycle we go through where I would say probably the most interesting twist is that your workers are no longer things that you can use over and over and over again to build. They are cards that go into your deck. So after you use your 3 cowboys to get some cows, they have to go into your discard pile, and you don't get those cowboys back till you draw them. So I thought that was a really interesting new mechanic that they added. But yeah, I'm very excited to check that out again soon.
Up next, this is also from All Play, and this is Twinkle Twinkle. Now, this was also a preview, being at convention season. A lot of these got to be previews, and they're not coming out yet. This one will be coming out later this year, pretty soon actually.
Yeah, and Kickstarter in February.
Yeah, and Kickstarter in February. And so what you're doing in this game, it is also a tile placement game where you are building your constellations and you are building out different stars are connected to each other. And it's one of those games where every time you make certain patterns and certain requirements, or you're going to get different points from that. You pick a tile off the board, and if you pick the best tile or the one that is deemed number 1, then the next time you are going to go in a different player order based on where you place it. So it's a really beautiful game, and I like the picture that you get at the end. It is a simple game. I would say fairly simple, but I genuinely love tile placement games, and I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, also we might be getting getting glow-in-the-dark tiles, like the glow-in-the-dark stars that you get on your ceiling, which I think sounds super fun. Okay, so up next on our list is SETI, or Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. This is a game by Czech Games that is a super interesting sort of heavyweight Euro, certainly like my favorite heavy game that I played, where you've got some like card construction stuff going on. You've got satellites that you're sending out from Earth, but the board actually orbits at different speeds, and you're trying to land on planets, orbit planets. You're going to score points based on these tracks that you get to there. And then you are going to discover 1 or 2 alien races throughout the course of the game who like literally will invade the board and do crazy things, which is such a weird thing to happen in a Euro, but absolutely loved it. This is a spectacular game, really looks great on the table, has been a lot of fun.
Up next is Azul Duel. What? You love Azul, I love Azul. And Asmodee at the preview event we got to go to at PAX, there was an Azul Duel preview, which is also coming out this year. I didn't play it, but you got to sit down and play it. I was going around playing some other games, but go ahead.
Yeah, so Azul Duel, everyone would say at this point, okay, but Azul's already a good 2-player game. Why do we need a specifically 2-player version? Well, they actually found a way to make this really unique and interesting. So you have like the sun and the moon at each of these spaces. You're going to take part of that space, but the tiles are stacked on top of each other based on how you're drafting. So you can actually control what's going to be available on the next turn, or after the other player picks, such that you get the thing under it. If you think about Seven Wonders Duel, where the cards are covering each other, you kind of have that thing going on with the tiles in this game. So it really gives you the ability to say, I'm going to nudge you into a corner where you're going to have to pick the thing that's going to unveil the thing that I want. So I think that was the interesting twist, and I'm very excited to get another chance to play it.
Now, before we get on with the list, I just want to ask if you're enjoying this video, if you would go ahead and like and subscribe, hit that subscribe button. We are trying to reach that 10,000 subscribers, and we love putting out board game videos. So if you love high quality board game content, and we talk about a vast variety of games, make sure you go ahead and follow that. We are also the designers of the game Bark Avenue, which is a competitive dog walking game on the streets of New York, and we have a Kickstarter for the expansion to that game and the deluxe reprint that will be coming out in February. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and you can follow the link down below to be notified of that launch. But thank you guys. Now back to the list.
Next up on our list is I'm Kind of a Big Dill, which is a funny party game co-designed by Grant Lyon, who's a friend of ours. We got a chance to play it at PAX Unplugged. We also had a chance to play it before we went. It is a whole lot of fun. Basically, you're given a prompt, so it'll say like how good you are at a like particular activity, or like maybe it's like
I said one was how good are you at picking your nose without getting noticed?
and so basically you get this modifier that's like plus or minus how much you have to exaggerate or underplay how good you are at that thing. And so it's a whole lot of fun when you're like, oh, I'm just like the best at this. I can like do it and when no one's looking, and I could even get like a piece so big that like I had to go all the way up in my cranium.
May I give the wrong example?
You got a really funny one though, which was like how much you like dogs, which is a really hard one.
Yeah, so if you just watch what we said before, so we are the designers of the game Bark Avenue, which is a dog walking game, and I had to say I liked dogs more than I actually like dogs, and so I was like I have pictures of my dog's first year, but I don't have many pictures of my children and all this stuff.
Yeah, so anyway, it's a ton of fun. It's sold out at PAX. Definitely pick it up if you like that kind of party game. It's a whole lot of fun. Okay, next up on our list is the Tapestry Revised Civilizations. Now, Tapestry is a game that is also one of my favorites, that has had a few expansions to it that have just made it more and more wild. We're now at like werewolves and aliens, which is amazing. But basically, over time, if anyone had a complaint, it would be that the factions or the civilizations have gotten more and more unbalanced as more of them have been released, and it's hard when you don't have 5 billion playtesters like they have given tons of feedback on the game. So they actually went back and reprinted a fat stack of civilization cards that basically changes the way some of the civilizations work, and then rebalances them, and then gives them difficulty scores. So I know to give people the level 1 difficulty and me the level 3 difficulty if I'm like working with people who haven't played before. So got a chance to play it with those, had a ton of fun. Man, I love Tapestry, so it's just great to get it to the table again.
I do not envy the people for them going to have to rebalance all this stuff. As game designers, I would be hard. But so kudos kudos to you guys.
Next up on our list, we have Blank Slate Challenge. Now, Blank Slate Challenge is one of those games too where it feels very unnecessary. It's like, we already have Blank Slate. It's already a great party game. Why do we need this? But it actually turns out to be such an amazing addition. So this is like the perfect couples double date night game. Basically, it's like you work on a team of two, and it's like Blank Slate, which is where you have like word blank or blank word, and you have to like fill it in with what you think other people are gonna guess. But instead, you now have two prompts. You have your like high points and your low points one, where I will write 2 words down and try to match with my partner. And if one of those 2 words match, we're gonna score the points from wherever we put it. If both of them match, we'll score even more points. It is a ton of fun. We had a blast playing it.
Up next is another party game, and that is Tapple After Dark, which is also by the Op. We have a lot of party games on this list because I was 9 months pregnant at the time. I'm currently at almost 4 weeks postpartum, so party games were the name of the game. But anyway, Tapple After Dark, if you're familiar with the widely popular game Tapple, it is this fast-paced game where you're going around and like to be like you have the category is fruit, and so everyone has to try and pick a letter that is like mango, apple, and like you go around until someone can't think of a letter anymore, and then they're out. Tapple After Dark is what the words imply. It is after dark. So this is going to be more of an adult, teenage friend geared toward that, not kids. It wasn't all like dirty, like can't have grandma in the room, but
No, some of it was like just adult concept, like
Yeah.
like it would be things like bills or like house maintenance
Yeah,
things or stuff like that too.
Yeah, so it's just more of adult, more adult categories, but to have some of those spicy ones as well. So if you like Tapple and you're an adult, you might enjoy Tapple After Dark. Up next is a Christmas I hope becomes classic, and that is Boop the Halls. So you're familiar with the game Boop or the Halloween version Boop. This is a similar game, actually a similar game except that you are cats and kittens trying to bounce each other off of a Christmas tree instead of the typical bed. So this is where this one gets interesting, and is done in a 3-dimensional aspect, which is why I think that this Boop the Hall is the most complicated out of all of them as far as visualization and puzzle goes. And there's also those ornaments that you can add into the game, which kittens are historically known for knocking off the trees, so that's part of the game as well. So if you like Boop and looking for a good Christmas game, definitely I would get Boop the Halls.
Nice. So next up on our list is Wonky, and this is a game about stacking like cubes, but they have multiple like wonky sides, being that they're like curved and like not perfectly shaped. And there's small cubes, there's large cubes. You're gonna play cards, and those are gonna tell you which cubes have to get stacked next. And man, it's a lot of fun because a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, how do I put this on? And you can really set people up to fail by putting that annoying little wonky cube on.
Yeah.
But you might set yourself up to fail. So.
From the couple times we played this, it's like Jenga, but a lot faster. And it seems like a game that you could just, it seems like a good like pub game where you could just have it on like at the corner end of a pub or a table and just like play a couple rounds and then move on. But it was good for laughs.
Next up on our list, we have Horrified Krampus. Okay, so this is an expansion, or it's a mini module expansion to Horrified, and it works with World of Monsters and Greek Monsters. They have that modular sort of like monster system. Now, uniquely, this was a game that you could only get with purchase of a new Horrified copy of some kind.
At this time.
So at least at the time. So it's a promotional copy expansion. Hopefully we'll get to see larger distribution in the future. But it is Krampus, the monster of Christmas. And it is honestly a really fun one. I really liked it. You got Santa running around. You got these kids running around. Krampus is trying to kidnap the kids and Santa. Santa's trying to like save the kids and save Christmas. So it's a good little addition.
Yeah, it's a cute little one, and we dove more into what is happening exactly in our top 3 games for the holidays, or top 5, so you can go check that out if you want to see more detailed thoughts on Krampus.
Next up, we have another Christmas game. We're getting towards the end of December here. We got Santa's Workshop. Okay, so this is a medium light, like actually pretty light, like very light actually, worker placement game that's made by Elf Creek Games, where you are placing these little like elf worker meeples throughout a workshop. You're gathering materials, which you're then using to build toys and to decorate the main tree in the middle of the board. It's a whole lot of fun, really, really cute, just light, happy Christmas fun. There is a complex side side and an even more basic side, so you can definitely invite the whole family to the table. And yeah, I really like it.
You say it's light, but I would definitely not say it's like party game light. Like it's definitely worker placement. I mean, it's not as hard as viticulture worker placement.
It's not as hard as Everdell. It's like
it's a lighter version of that. But where this game is amazing is the theme. So this is like we've had it now for several years, and this is our first time pulling it out for Christmas for some reason, and it is just amazing for the theme. Even like as far as like when you discard the cards, like to be able to pull out later, you put once you finish your the elves' assignment, their toys, you get to actually put them in the sleigh, a physical sleigh, and so I loved it. And what I like, this is the fun tidbit, is all the elves that you can play. They're all like different versions of what people say elves look like.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then really each the cards and like lists of like what people want for Christmas, they're all done in different languages. So the theme in this game is wonderful.
Yeah. All right, so next up on this list is Amun-Re 20th Anniversary Edition. Now, Mackenzie didn't play this. I played this at game night, and it is a classic like Reiner Knizia game with Vincent Dutrait art that just looks absolutely beautiful. You're basically bidding for these spaces where you're going to get access to pyramids and like resources and things that are there, and you got cards you can play. Honestly, like I thought it was fine. It kind of like came and went for me. Probably won't play it again, but I did enjoy it.
Up next is Dadada, and this is a party game by the Op, and this is a game where it essentially feels like it's the game I do when I'm trying to talk to my 2-year-old currently, and you basically are making up a language with the group and trying to get like
using cards that say like boop, ba,
yes.
da.
Yes, and you're trying to get like the people to guess the word. So it's kind of like The Crew, but you can only speak in the language that you're coming up with, and you decide as a team without saying anything what that language is going to be. It's really interesting. And the first time you play it, you're going to be like, am I doing this right? Like, is this correct? But then it really clicks, and like the second and third time, because if rounds play really fast and we were playing it, we really got it and we're able to communicate with this language. So it was a lot of fun. It was a neat group, I think, experiment to play.
Yes, if you have the right group, I think this is a great game to play.
I think
you just have to be really creative. All right, the final game of December, right before this little girl came out, that is Tokyo Highway Rainbow City. So this is a dexterity game where you are placing highway roads where you got to go up and down by like one level and basically place these essentially like popsicle sticks that you put little cars on, and you get to put cars on them if you pass over other people's roads or under other people's roads. But you score points for circling buildings, for going through this like rainbow in the middle of the city. We're doing a bunch of other wacky stuff. It was pretty amazing how so few popsicle sticks became such a like large highway.
Like if you weren't watching the whole building process and you come out and look at it, you're like, how in the world was this built? To me, it was like getting to play with like kid toys without a kid knocking them all down. Yeah. And it was like Jenga, but like on steroids and individual. I honestly, I really like this game as far as dexterity games go.
No, I loved it. It was fun, but man, was it long. It was so long.
It was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and that's because everyone's like, okay, I gotta put this here. We had like 6 people playing.
Yeah, we did have a lot of people playing, so I think, but it also made it for, and the one thing is with this game, if you aren't careful, it will start to fall over.
It'll deteriorate, yes.
So you have to be, like we had a couple times where we knocked a piece over and it just is like dominoes and it starts to knock other things over and you just have to spend time resetting it up. So just be wary that there could be some maintenance, and it is a long game, but a fun one.
Okay, so that is everything that we played in December.
Yes, so that was the monthly minute. We actually played a lot more games than I thought we played.
Yeah, PAX Unplugged helps. So.
Yeah, and so it was wonderful, and I'm very excited to see what's coming out this year. We have a lot of exciting games and see what we get into. But thank you guys all for joining us. I hope you like this format. It's a great way for us to just like talk through a bunch of things and get to share them with all of you. I hope you found some of it interesting, and we showed off some new games for you. But if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know whenever we put out a new video, and we'll see you next time.
Happy playing.